Happy Monday, y'all. Daily podcast, Earnestly Speaking the Daily. I'm a dumbass. Some of y'all might already know that because, you know who I am. But I'm a dumbass because, I should be eating better. I told myself about 2 weeks ago that I would not order pizzas or eat pizzas for a while because every time I eat that stuff, it seems to ruin my stomach. And for a while, I was doing well. And then this past Sunday, yesterday, we decided to order out because we cooked all week. And it's our lazy day. Sunday's a lazy family day, so we tend to just kind of relax. So we'll order food, order Chinese. Which in hindsight, we probably should have did that. Order Chinese as opposed to Papa John's Pizza. Bad idea, because my stomach was ruined last night. And to make things worse, this morning, apparently my wife said I left the pizza out on the counter overnight. And I was hungry today. And rather than, find something else to eat, I said, I want a pizza so bad. So I got me 2 slices of pizza, small slices of pizza. And the last 3 hours I've been in the bathroom. Sorry for the details, guys. I apologize. But it's been bad. And my stomach's ruined again. So, I think I am over pizza for a while. And it's sad to say because I love pizza. But not at the risk of ruining my body, my beautiful figure, my wonderful face. No. We gotta curb that. So, I was a dumbass. Again. Not for taking my own advice. And there you go. Boom. Cheers. Remember the last podcast I did talking about how the NBA playoffs have been kind of underwhelming, non-engaging, any other action verb when put in there. So I decided yesterday to, I was looking forward to watching the games, and those Cavs and Raptors game 4, we all knew Cavs won that series and probably sweep them. So I didn't even watch the game. I had no motivation to turn on the game yesterday at all, any of the games. And this is weird because I am an NBA junkie, but I've come to a place as of late where the games are so uninteresting. There's no good storylines. The only series that really matter, the only series I really care to watch, honestly, is Spurs and Rockets. That's it. Because those two teams might have a chance to play spoiler in the Western Conference. But beyond that, even though Boston and Washington is becoming more intriguing because of some of the storylines coming into the year, coming into the playoffs, and those teams really hate to fuck each other. They really fucking hate each other. I just don't. The games have been, some of the games have been decent, but the last 2 games have been pretty bad. So I actually missed all 3 games yesterday. You're gonna laugh. I actually was in the middle of Bill Maher marathon. I actually watched most of his shows from last year, leading up to the election. So I missed a lot of those shows last season. And I think he's a genius. I don't agree with everything he says. Some of the things he says are kind of what are you talking about? But for the most part, he's a genius, and he's very engaging and very he doesn't bullshit you, and I like people who doesn't bullshit me. So I spent a lot of time yesterday watching Bill Maher. Holding my 1-month-old in my arms because I was on the couch a lot yesterday. I don't do that often. I'm not a lazy person, although there's times where I'm like, fuck it. But I typically try to be somewhat active, so do something with family, to do something. But when you have a 1-month-old who's not vaccinated yet, so for another few weeks, another week, a month, or whatever the hell, we're going into the doctor to take care of that. You're limited to what you can do as a family, and I got to be home with the family a lot. So we've been home. The days I'm not working, I'm home with the wife and the kids. So what else can you do? So, but that I spent all last night watching Bill Maher reruns from last year, and turns out I look at the scores of these games at the end. I didn't miss anything. I really didn't miss anything. All 3 games were blowouts. So, and I'll watch some of the highlights after, of course. But I gotta tell you, I think sports as of late for me has not really been a priority. Like it's kind of on the back burner a little bit. Like I've been listening to more political commentary on podcasts, a lot more than I've watched any sports or listened to sports related stuff. And why? There's a lot of reasons why. Sometimes I go through waves. Maybe it's maturity. Maybe I'm getting a little older and I have to know what's going on. Some of it also is the fact that I am concerned about some direction this country's going. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Some things I'm not really too crazy about. So I don't know. That's where my head's at. But otherwise, that's kind of been where my head's at the last few months, really. My passion's been kind of in the smithereens a little bit. It's weird. But then again, the NBA playoffs hasn't really shown me nothing, really, to be excited about. The Cavs are in the conference finals again. I mean, duh. Washington and Boston they're playing a tight series, but it's inevitable. The winner of that series really is going to lose the next series to Cleveland and LeBron. Like, come on, really? Do you think Boston and Washington has a shot to actually win more than one game against Cavaliers in the conference finals? Fuck no. That's not happening. And I'm really pissed and shocked at the Toronto Raptors and how everything played out for them. I thought the Raptors would, and I still think they're the second best team in the Eastern Conference, behind Cleveland, and were the only team that actually had a quote unquote shot to challenge Cleveland in the Eastern Conference. And now with that out of the way now, and now they're gone, I'm wondering their future. Kyle Lowry's a free agent this summer. Serge Ibaka's a free agent this summer. They have a lot of decisions to make whether to break up that core or not. Like they're like the poor man's Clippers a little bit in the East in terms of what things they need to do, decisions they have to make moving forward. So, Toronto is going to be an interesting team, I think, for me to look at this summer in terms of decision making and whatnot. Like I said, the Spurs are squashed again. Like I said, that's the only series I really care about right now is Spurs Rockets, and honestly, the only reason why I think that is that those are the only two teams I think that can even give Golden State a semblance of a run. I still don't think any of those teams will beat them, but you can at least give them an opportunity to make something interesting. The bottom line is this: the bottom line is we're on the way to another Warriors-Cavs matchup, and that's a bad thing because you want to see it. This is obviously the rubber match between the two teams in the finals, but you want to at least see the journey to that point be a bit more challenging. Like last year, the Thunder 3-1 lead against the Warriors in the conference finals before the Warriors bounced back. You want to at least see them get pushed back a little bit. That's the problem. And I say that as an NBA diehard. I know a lot of my friends who don't love the NBA as much as I do, criticize the NBA, and I get very defensive about it. But I gotta be honest with you, some of them have a point. The competition right now isn't great. There's very little parity in the league, or at the very least, the competition between 1 and 2 and everybody else is dire. Like you have the Cavs and the Warriors, and I guess you put the Spurs in that conversation, maybe the Rockets, and after that you have like a gap between like top 2, 3, 4 teams in the league, and then the next like 26 is night and day. And while I sit and defend the NBA a lot, because I love the NBA so much and what they do and all that, people who criticize the NBA for not being competitive and not really being much of a show to watch, they have a point. So, I don't know. That's, it really sucks because as a guy who's been a diehard, you want to see more competition. Give him competition! So I go to bed last night about, 2 o'clock, 2:30. And I just check the Facebook real quick before I go in. And I see that there's still a baseball game going on. And it's not even a West Coast game. It's Cubs and Yankees. From it was on ESPN, I think, actually last night. And They went 18 innings. The Yankees sweep the Cubs, the champs. Weird saying that the Cubs are the champs, isn't it? Weird as fuck saying that the Cubs are the world champions, but they are. Tell you what, man, I hate the Yankees more than life itself, or not life itself, but I hate the Yankees. But they're pretty damn good. I don't know if they sustain this moving forward. I think Boston still can figure it out and will defrog them. But so far, we're a month and a half into the season, and the Yankees have been very impressive. And it's why I tell people that Joe Girardi might be the best manager, the second best manager in all of baseball. And Yankee fans who criticize that guy for years, you know, I pray that he left that team because people don't appreciate it, man, at all. So Joe Girardi's a man, and you know, the Yankees are better for it. 18 innings, man. Fuck, that's crazy. You know, that's baseball. Didn't watch the game though, because I was busy doing other things. You know, so what else to talk about? What we got here? Yeah, Bill Maher marathon. Like I said, I'm doing that. Great shit. Oh, you know, I never reacted to ESPN layoffs. I never wrote about it. And I never really potted on it either. But I will say this: the layoffs, you know, it's a sad situation. It also tells you what the direction of sports media, where it's going. And I think what it comes down to is that people who want to get in that industry now, who want to make a splash in the industry, really have to focus on their own brand. Now, the good and bad about ESPN layoffs is that there isn't a need for the things they do anymore. The streamline, they no longer streamline. Like, pretty much, you got to be a multifaceted journalist to survive, to get to the mainstream. Like, you can't be just a writer to get there. You can't be just a guy who covers one team to survive there. If you notice, people got fired there. A lot of people got fired from ESPN, or people who are one topic, one subject specific guys. Like, for example, a guy who covers just the New Orleans Pelicans. That's all they do. You know, he got fired. You know, a guy who just covers NBA beats. You know, Adam Schefter's now doing NBA and NFL. You know, the reason why Stephen A. Smith is still there, people can claim, oh, well, somebody's gotten fired. No, he shouldn't get fired. You know why? Because he's still bringing numbers. You know, just the fact that you talk about Stephen A. Smith in a negative way, he's still winning because you're talking about him. Okay? Somebody's still watching First Take. You're probably still watching First Take in anger, but you're still watching it. You know, so you're added to the field. The only way you can really make a dent into something you want done your way is to stop watching and to stop you know, their advertisers, ESPN's advertisers, you know, just don't contribute to that. Like, don't stop supporting those also. Look at Bill O'Reilly. You hated Bill O'Reilly, but he was still, for a long time, the #1 cable news host in America. Well, everybody hated him, but he still got the money. But you couldn't really put a dagger in him until you got the advertisers. Once the advertisers are pulling out, there you go. So, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yeah. So the ESPN lessons really suck, but I think it's an opportunity for people who are still going into this business. People like me, for example, who are in media, but I'm actually also, you know, doing more in the sports now. But people who are in that medium, build your own brand. Like, you don't absolutely need ESPN and Fox Sports and CBS Sports and all these other entities to make it big. You can still build your own brand. I mean, having Facebook Live and Periscope and all these other ways of getting your stuff out, podcasts and, you know, radio shows and internet radio shows, that's the industry is coming our way now. Like, if you're a consumer that wants to get involved in this stuff, we have an advantage. Now, the odds are you probably won't make it as big, will make it big time to ESPN and everybody else, but if you enjoy doing this shit, then do it anyway. Like me, I have been doing this for 6-7 years, and I covered the Heat for a pretty decent sized blog, Fast Nation. But I also have my own this podcast. I have the main podcast also. That, you know, even if I wasn't making a lot of money on it, I would enjoy doing it as a hobby. Seriously, I love doing this stuff. I love talking about sports. I love talking about life, talking about all the stuff that matters. So, I think people need to put more emphasis into building their own product from the ground up, and let that be what sells everything else. And if a big company like ESPN or Huffington Post or whatever you want to write about or talk about decides to scoop you up because their brand is big, there you go. Opportunity knocks. So, brand building is huge. Last thing I want to talk about before I go. Some shitty news, actually, because I hated this show. American Idol is back, apparently, on ABC. God. Don't want to see that. Don't. Really don't want to see American Idol. And then people like, well, what the hell? Your sister's on American Idol the first season, Christina. I know. She was great. Of course. But she knows I hate the show. Because it's not authentic. You know I can't stand the fucking show. Everyone knows I can't stand the fucking show. She knew that from day one I hated the show. I watched it for her. But that show always drove me crazy because it was never a very authentic show. And certainly not, the only reason I even watched the show, even besides her, was because of Simon Cowell. I mean, other than that, he's not there anymore, so who gives a shit? The people that they've had replace him, in their final years when they went a different direction, it's not that interesting. Sorry. Ray Jackson's okay, but whatever. Paul Abdul was okay, but didn't care about the show that much. I think The Voice is a way better show, a better concept, and more focused on the music than all the other bullshit. So I'm on 95 and people can't fucking drive. But American Idol is back on ABC allegedly, and I can care less. The only reason I'm even saying this is I want to tell you guys that. So, I have an apology to make. I did say I was going to do a podcast with our buddy, Mark Francois, this weekend, on the other podcast, the main podcast. But that fell through because of scheduling issues last minute, and hopefully we'll get to that show. Hopefully we'll be able to do that podcast soon because I want to get some thoughts on other things. And I haven't done any shows really much. I did the solo show last week, I think, really, but I haven't really done a show with a guest. Like, I did Ray Moraldi last week, 2 weeks ago, and I think another one with somebody else. I believe. I don't remember. I'm getting no fucking sleep. My 1-month-old is still nocturnal. Doesn't want to sleep during the day. Sleeps all day, stays up all night. He's a partier. He's a graveyard guy. So I'm suffering a little bit. My wife and I are both suffering a little bit with that. So hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I can get back to a normal schedule of podcasting. We might do that show just once a week. This will be the daily show now. Shorter, quicker, more rapid reaction. But the other podcast, the main podcast, will probably once a week, maybe twice a week if we can get more time. But right now, I'm shooting it once a week. That's all I'm asking for. Once a week with some guests, with nice guests and whatnot. And we'll go from there. Anyway, the daily is over. I'm done for today. Check it out tomorrow. This show, again, on iTunes. Ernest Speaking the Daily on iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at EJChristian7. And try to enjoy the NBA playoffs tonight. Try to enjoy hockey tonight. Hopefully my stomach feels better later on because I like a fucking dumbass eating pizza when I shouldn't have, and then eating food that was left out for hours on my counter. Not smart, and I'm suffering through it. So, but till then, see y'all.